As we gather here, we thank you for your goodness, your grace, and your mercy that is given so freely to us every morning. Father, as we gather here for the test of Chinese as a foreign language computerized adaptive test awards ceremony, we thank you for the various persons and organizations who have contributed continuously to this worthy venture. Father, continue to bless their every effort and endeavor. Father, we trust you for continued success for the participants who have successfully passed the test. Lord, we ask you also for your continued abundance and favor to be poured upon the tutor, Ms. Chen. We thank you for her patience and dedication to this journey of teaching Mandarin to us here on Nevis. Lord, continue to cover, guide, and direct us always. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen.
Please keep standing as we are going to have our national anthems.
the Honorable Premier, A.G. Bradley, Ambassador Tong, Madam Ambassador Leao, Roy Lowe, and other members of the Taiwanese Ambassador, the Technical Mission, Honorable Yu Choi Liber, our Minister with responsibility for education, Mr. Nella Claxton, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Kevin Barrett, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Human Resources, Mr. Jamia Claxton, Principal Assistant Secretary, the Ministry of Education, other representatives of the Ministry of Education, parents, teachers, principals, Ms. Chen. Pleasant morning is wished to us all. I am honored here today to stand and give remarks at the 4th annual award ceremony for the test of Chinese as a foreign language, computerized adaptive test. Now, at no time during my remarks I will attempt to speak any Chinese at all. I will not do that. But throughout the ceremony, we will see what the great work that Ms. Chen has done and the efforts and the rewards that it is reaping. It's a joy to stand here because we are celebrating not just the academic achievement of our students and those who would have taken the test this year, but it's the celebration of their journey, of their growth, of their commitment to learning this new language, and the history and culture that is intertwined in the process. Over the past years, we have had this ceremony, and we continue to see growth in the effort of our students and in the results of the exam. It's not easy to take the test. It's not easy to learn a new language, and so we commend you and applaud your efforts to do both. The fact that you have chosen this exam speaks to your courage and your ability to step outside your comfort zone and to try to master a new language and to learn new cultures. These are qualities that will serve you well, not just in your academic journey, but in life in general. To our teachers and our families who support the process, we encourage you to continue to be patient and to help shape them in the students that you want them to be, real citizens of the world who are able to embrace other cultures and other languages. We are honored that these students have taken this journey with us and that they are learning not just the grammar and the vocabulary of their language, but they are learning the cultural aspects as well. It opens the door to connect to another group of people. And as we learn new languages and we learn new cultures, it gives us new perspectives, and it helps us to build friendships and across cultures across the world. And I think I want to pause here to acknowledge a special connection that we at the Ministry and Department of Education have made with the tutor for this course, Ms. Chen. Ms. Chen came to us a few years ago in the heart of the pandemic, and she would remind you of her days in quarantine. But after that, she came to the department and she really became a colleague in every sense of the word. She is a part of us, she is one of us. And as this is her final ceremony with us, Ms. Chen's tenure with us is over and she will return to Taiwan. I wanted to say a special thank you to you, Ms. Chen. Because your journey with us, and those of you who are from Nevis, you know Ms. Chen is a part of the Department of Education. You see her everywhere, setting up, breaking down, participating in every event that we have because she's truly a part of us. And that is a testimony of what embracing new languages and new cultures can do for us. So thank you very much, Ms. Chen. And as we hear this morning to celebrate these students who are receiving this award this morning, we are also celebrating you because this is through your effort and your hard work. And so we are with mixed emotions today because we are very proud of the students, proud of your accomplishment, and we want to celebrate that. But we are also sad that we will be without Ms. Chen from here on. But she'll be with us because once you're in a vision, once you're part of us, you never leave it. So we encourage the students to keep striving, to keep growing, to keep learning your language, and as we work to find a replacement for Ms. Chen, to have another tutor so that the program can continue, we're encouraging you to continue to use your language skills to make impact in your community, in your schools, in your world. Congratulations, and let us enjoy this moment of celebration because you would have done good. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today will be the last time standing here. Time really flies. After so many years of TOEFL, this year's the 4th year, I always tell my students the test is just a number. Test is just one of many measurements of the language proficiency. And after the exam, students always come and ask me, Ms. Chen, are you happy with my grades? Am I make you proud? Let me tell you, in this kind of limited learning hours and this kind of non-Mandarin speaking environment, you did absolutely really well. And your hard work really meets your grades. So just be like, Caribbean people always born with natural confidence. Let the score sheet and certificate shine as well. So I shared it last year already, but still I would like to say again. When I was in their age, middle school students, my English was probably worse than their Mandarin is now. Really. But today, English brought me here to another part of the world. So I believe Mandarin can do the same, take you to anywhere that you want. So remember, every step in life counts. So I take nothing for granted. Thank you for coming. Thank you, my colleagues from the Ministry and Department of Education, NEVIS. Thank you, schools, GSS, NSS, and CSS. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for the parents. I always accompany with your child. Maybe you have received my messages before that, oh, your child didn't write the homework, please feel confident to do so, blah, blah, blah. And thank you, everyone that I have met on this island to treat me well. I always remember that. And this week, today is Friday. Yeah, this week, Monday, I went to GSS Assembly. And when Mr. David called me, call all the Mandarin students to be on the stage, I only thought that maybe the current Mandarin students come. But except them, still, the students that are graduated, that still come on the stage. At that moment, I knew that I did something right. And my dialect teacher that I never expected, Mrs. Mills, I'm going to say again, she once said, may not know when last we see you. Now I realized that it will be me and you. Me and you probably won't remember when last we see each other, but definitely we will remember those little moments and memories of our interactions. Mandarin students, how to say goodbye in Mandarin? Yes. So 再见 in Mandarin is not really means goodbye in English. It means to see you again. Yes. So NEVIS 再见. See you again. Thank you. We will have Bible speech by Dila Jafar and Kalia Isaac. Please come on the stage.
亲爱的长官朋友们，大家好。Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 我是克莱加，我是Charleston Secondary School 的学生。I am Elijah Clark, a student of a Charleston Secondary School.
我是严凯丽，我是 Navy Sixth Form College 的学生。I am Kalia Isaac. I am a student from Navy Sixth Form College.
我真的不容易， 考试的时候，我觉得像在打仗。
TOEFL is truly challenging. During the exam, I felt as if I was heading into battle. 对，考完我都不知道该哭还是该笑。
Indeed, after the exam, I never knew whether to cry or to laugh. 可是，这场考试让我们看到自己的进步。
However, this examination has allowed us to recognize our own progress. 今天的这张证书不只是努力的证明，更增加了我们规划未来的信心。
Today's certificate is not only proof of our hard work, but a source of confidence that strengthens our ability to plan for the future. 或许有一天我们能到台湾学习、生活，探索更多可能性。
Perhaps one day we will have the opportunity to study and live in Taiwan, exploring even more possibilities. 谢谢台湾，也谢谢你为此教育部。
Thank you, Taiwan. Thank you, Ministry of Education, Nevis.
我们会继续加油。
We will keep it up.
谢谢大家。
Good morning, everyone. I want to, of course, recognize the Honorable Troy Liebert, who leads our efforts in education, and his team, headed by the hard-working PS, Sonella Claxton, the principal assistant PS, and of course our PEO, all who are here. I also, of course, want to recognize our ambassador, His Excellency Edward Ling Wang Tao. Did I say that correctly? Yes. I speak Mandarin. And his entire team, as well as his wife, who's, I'm told, visited Nevis today for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, I have tried my best to be at every one of these ceremonies. And I have done so because some years ago we had this idea to teach our people how to speak Mandarin. And the reason that we had this idea was in part because Mandarin is spoken by nearly 1.2 billion people around the world. And we understand that a lot of business and a lot of engagements are being done using this language. In our schools, traditionally, we have had English, of course, which is our language, I would say our native language. Although Ms. Chen, you said the dialect and you spoke it very well. But we have, since my time in school, and I could tell you, if you look at me, you know that was a very, very long time ago, that we also taught French and Spanish. And that has, for all these decades, been the only exposure that our people have had, our young people especially, to foreign languages. Mandarin, therefore, gave us an opportunity to do something new and something different. And I want to emphasize the different part, because at least with French and Spanish, you're dealing with characters that look like English. But with Mandarin, I would not know where to start. And so I want to pick up on one of the words that was used by our PO, Ms. Brown, when she said that she wanted to commend all of you on your courage, because it requires tremendous courage to set out on a path and to do something that is entirely new. And I, in that vein, want to congratulate Ms. Kalia Isaac and Mr. Delijah Clark. I don't know what they were saying, but they spoke beautifully. I also want to congratulate the family that was here, who played the national anthem. Young Nathan Daniel and young Ariana Daniel, but their mom, Mrs. Reynald Daniel, who sang the Taiwanese anthem, and whilst I sat next to my friend the ambassador, he said she sang it better than he could. So kudos to them. But what I'm seeing today, ladies and gentlemen, is demonstrative of what happens when a good idea is acted upon. And oftentimes when we set out on journeys and there is a discussion, we have all shades of opinion. And that's understandable. We live in a democracy. Very robust and sometimes raucous democracy that is needed. But when we action good ideas, ultimately our people are the beneficiaries. As I look at all of those who will receive certificates today, and I look at all of those who have received certificates over the past 4 years, my heart is glad that we're doing something good on the island of Nevis. And I want to thank all of you, parents, students. I'm told that we are offering classes to some persons who are not necessarily in the category of students at school anymore. So we've offered classes even to people who are no longer in school. And I see one hand has gone up. So the young and the not so young are benefiting from this initiative. I see here in our presence our PS in Human Resources, Mr. Barrett. They call him Scooby. I want to thank him because he was a critical part of putting this together. And I go back to what I'm trying to say is essentially that ideas like these, innovations like these, ultimately benefit our people. And I think to start this process, as you heard from Ms. Brown, who started it, really we were in the midst of COVID. And COVID was survival mode. Most of us were only thinking about how we were going to survive. And this government was not only thinking survival, we were also thinking Mandarin. How are we going to teach Mandarin? And I want to thank the government of Taiwan, because they did not only send us a Mandarin teacher, they sent us Miss Chen. And I believe with all my heart that in her previous life, Miss Chen was in a vision. And if you have any doubts of what I'm saying, if you look at Miss Chen, you realize that Miss Chen has her hair braided. I believe I can say without fear of contradiction that she's the first Taiwanese person I've ever seen with braids. And so she's here today, and Miss Chen, we shall miss you. I was very sad when I heard that you were leaving us, because I think we have seen people come and go, but the way that you embedded yourself in Nevis. I have seen Miss Chen at church, I have seen her at the supermarket, I've seen that you know when somebody's part of the community when you see them at the funeral. And so I've seen her in every aspect of Nevis. And she has taught us, but I think she has also learned from us. And Ms. Chen, I would want you to go back to Taiwan with fond memories of Nevis, and I'm hopeful that this will not be the last time that we see you on the island of Nevis. So on behalf of my government, I want to tell you how grateful we are to you, how grateful we are for the time that you've spent with us, and certainly the patience that you've exhibited with our students and the skills that you've passed on to them. Please know that you go back to Taiwan with our gratitude and our profound respect. To the new Taiwanese ambassador who has joined us this morning, His Excellency Edward Ling Wen Tao. I want to say, sir, that we are truly grateful for the relationship with Taiwan. I coined a phrase some time ago. I said diplomacy matters, and because we think it does. And I know sometimes our people see diplomacy as some sort of faraway thing of people having dinners and drinks, and they hear about these meetings. But when we can bring diplomacy to bear and we can see these students benefit on the ground. We can sit here today in a building. I came in and I said to the ambassador, welcome, this is Taiwan, because this building was built by Taiwan. This park was built by Taiwan. The Pinnis Beach improvements were done by Taiwan. And as we look around St. Kitts and Nevis, we see the DNA of Taiwan in every aspect of our development. And I always say, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing me, but I'll continue to say, that Taiwan has not only been our friend, Taiwan has always been our best friend. And so I thank you, Ambassador, and I ask you, please, to take our gratitude back to your government. And I'm hopeful that this long relationship with the government and people of Taiwan, that it will continue. I will say one last thing, and that is to say that we certainly would want this program to continue. And so we look forward to the Ministry of Education to engage with your government to find someone else to teach Mandarin here. I will not say a replacement, because I'm told that it is impossible to replace Ms. Chen. We are hopeful that we can find someone else who will come and who will continue this journey on which we have set our feet. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw recently some 28 students from the Federation heading to Taiwan on full scholarships to study various fields of study. I would want to make the appeal publicly that our students from Nevis pay attention and seek to apply for these opportunities. And I looked at the 28 students. I believe there were only one or two who were from Nevis, and the others were from our sister island of St. Kitts. One of the fundamental reasons why we introduced Mandarin was to ensure that by the time our students got to the point where they were going off to university, if they considered to study in Taiwan, as we heard from Kalia and Elijah, they said perhaps one day they'll be studying in Taiwan. One of the things we were trying to achieve is to ensure that they were so proficient in the language that they did not need to spend an additional year in Taiwan. Some of you may not know, but when you go to study in Taiwan, the first year is spent learning the language. So we felt that if you could have years of exposure to the language here, if you could have the certification that you are competent in Mandarin, that by the time you got to Taiwan, you could say to the Taiwanese government, students from Nevis don't need to do any extra year. We come equipped. So we just want to get straight into the degree. But in order to achieve that, and in order for the pieces to come together, students, you need to apply. Every year I hear the complaint. They say not enough students from Nevis are applying. You know, the lottery, you're too young to play. But if there are parents in here who are playing the lottery, they always say, you can't win it unless you're in it. You can't want to win the lottery if you have not bought a ticket. And so you must apply, and at least by applying, give yourself the opportunity of a lifetime. The opportunity to travel to Taiwan, to live in Taiwan, to study in Taiwan. You come back with a degree and no student debt because your families have not had to borrow to send you here. That too is a demonstration of the power of diplomacy. You come back, hopefully, being proficient in a new language and having an understanding of a new culture. You come back with new friends in Taiwan and from across the world. And that, I think, ultimately is what we need. The level of people-to-people engagement, building relationships to ensure that we have ultimately a better island, a better federation, and a better world. And so I encourage you, do not let Ms. Chen's 4 or 5 years, I think she has been here with us now, of teaching, go for naught. I want to see you ultimately in the corridors of power, in the corridors of business, speaking Mandarin, engaging in Mandarin, and being proficient and comfortable in Mandarin. And I want to see more of you studying in Thai. Take advantage of those opportunities. It's very difficult when your parents are asked to go to the banks to borrow so that you can go and study. And when you come home after study, you know what happens? For those first 10 years, your salary is going to pay student loans. Now your friend from St. Kitts, who took the scholarship, got the scholarship, first 10 years, he's paying for his piece of land to start to build his house. So you see what I'm saying? He's ahead of you because he took an opportunity that was available whilst you did not. And I know some people say Taiwan is far. I've been there a few times. It's a long flight. But I can also tell you Taiwan is a beautiful country with mangoes and avocados and a lot of what you enjoy here, Taiwan has there as well. And so perhaps, Madam Chen, I've overstayed my welcome, but I wanted to say how proud I am, how pleased I am, and how happy I continue to be to see so many of our people taking advantage of the opportunities that are available to them right here on the island of Nevis. May this program continue, and I am hopeful that I'll be able to come back time and time again to say congratulations and to say thank you for all that we've done and all that we continue to try to do together. Now I know that there's a part here we talk about presentation of certificates, but I don't have a certificate. What I do have is a gift for Ms. Chen. And so if you will allow me, Ms. Chen, to present you a gift. Ms. Chen, I am hopeful that when you go to the market in Taiwan, the night market, when you get your bubble tea, that you'll use this bag. And then when people say, what's that? You'll say it's the most beautiful place in the world. So, we have a small token here. I won't open the gift, but what it is, it's a photo of this spot and this building. And we thought that it was an important memento for you to take with you as a lasting memory of the connection between Taiwan and Nevis. So thank you again for all that you've done and all that you continue to do.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bradley, for your word. It's quite touching. Now we would like invite Ambassador Tao to have the short remark, please.
Good morning, everybody. Today, I want to recognize the Honorable Mark Bradley, Premier of Nevis, and the Honorable Troy Liber, the Minister of Education, and Permanent Secretary Claxton, Permanent Secretary Barrett, and the Principal Education Officer, Ms. Londa Brown, and all the distinguished guests and officials from the Nevis administration. And I would also like to recognize my colleagues at the embassy, and Mr. Roy Lowe from the Taiwan Technical Mission, and Ms. Christina Xu. Yes, it's a great pleasure to be here at this event. This is my second visit to Nevis, although I just arrived only 6 weeks ago, but I make sure that I will come all the time. And I'm really very honored and excited, especially when I just heard the national anthem delivered by Mrs. Daniel. I was really surprised, and I mean it, I can't sing it. It's really good. Yeah, I've already put it on video. And also, I'm very impressed by the bilingual speech delivered by our friends, Kalia and Delija. Very good, very good. I'm really impressed. And so, it's always a privilege to be able to participate in this kind of functions, which signify the friendship between Taiwan and Nevis and your federation. And it's also a privilege to join you all to honoring the students who took the test of TOEFL test, Chinese as a foreign language, and earned their certificates. And I also want to take this opportunity to pay tribute to Ms. Chen Chi, who launched the Mandarin program 5 years ago, and she has completed her tour of duty. proudly and will soon return to Taiwan. And so first of all, I want to congratulate all the participants of the 2025 TOEFL test. And you know, Mandarin Chinese is one of the most challenging language to learn, especially when you study outside the native environment. But yet you have demonstrated a lot of dedication, passion, and persistence. I've heard a lot of stories from Ms. Chang about young students and senior learners who tirelessly memorizing vocabularies and practice conversation wherever they can. I also learned about the inspiring stories of Nathan Daniel, our youngest certificate holder who earns a Novus Turing Award at just 8 years old. My goodness. By passing the TOEFL test, you will have earned a certificate that proves your ability to speak Chinese. And so I want to congratulate all of you for the hard work, and you deserve a big round of applause. Congratulations. So learning a new language, a foreign language, is like opening a new window of opportunity. And so please continue with your Mandarin study and make the most of it. And just like the Honorable Premier said, I really look forward to, in a few years' time, some of you, or many of you, will be on your trip to Taiwan to study with a full scholarship. And while today we honor our students, we also pay tribute to Ms. Chen, the first Mandarin teacher in the Federation. Remember that one Mandarin teacher arriving here with no curriculum and no reference material, she courageously opened the door of Mandarin learning in your beautiful island. And most importantly, Ms. Chen brought Mandarin beyond the classroom, from secondary schools to adult classes, from official functions to community events. I also learned that she was invited to churches, even funerals, and everywhere. She's spreading the gospel of Mandarin. So I would have to say that Ms. Chen has become more than a teacher. She's the cultural ambassador of Taiwan and the cherished friend of leaders. So through her effort, I think Ms. Chen has built many bridges that will strengthen the relationship between Taiwan and your federation. And we are grateful for the legacy she leaves us. I also want to extend my thanks, heartfelt thanks, to all Nivision's friends who has supported the Mandarin program, in particular the Honorable Premier, the Minister of Education, the officials, the schools, the parents, and every individual that offers encouragement. Honorable Premier, you have championed this partnership from the very beginning. I'm pleased to report to you that the Taiwan ICTF is in the process of recruiting a new teacher for Mandarin, and I really look forward to bring her or him to you very shortly. So in closing, let me once again congratulate all our students and congratulate the families and for your achievement, and let us offer our warmest wishes to our beloved Ms. Chen. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. 谢谢。可以吗？
Thank you, Ambassador Gao. And now we will start the presentation. So please welcome Mr. Williams to call him in. So students, if you hear your name, please come to the front.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are now going to distribute the certificates to the students who have completed the various levels for the test of Chinese as a foreign language computerized adaptive test. We now invite the Honorable Yu Troy Librarian to present the first set of certificates. Shadija Case. Khadija. Jolie Case. Janicia Hodge. Alia Nisbet. And those are the persons for Novice 1. We now move on to Novice 2, Tevon Watley. Daphne Angola. Thank you, Honorable David. We now invite the Honorable Matt Bradley for the next set. Tanelia Brown. Shadia Carter. Heliana Semple. Annalise Lebrant. Angelica Lescott. Ariana Daniel. Renel Daniel. Thank you, Honorable Premier. And we now invite His Excellency Ambassador to And we now move into the level 1 certificates. Amina Byron. Yuta Trish Taylor. Cleo Smithon Romani. Isabel Byron. Collier Isaac. Anishaw Bartlett. Thank you, Ambassador Paul. We now invite Madam Ambassador Madeline Leon. Continuing with level 1, Elijah Clark. Jordan Hodge. Pamela Pemberton. Errol Williams Jr.